Let's get something straight right from the start. If you think you need money, a six-pack, or some over-the-top personality to attract women, you're already playing the wrong game. The truth? Attraction is not about appearance, not about wealth, not even about what you say. It's about how you carry yourself, your mindset, your aura. And most people are missing one simple truth. Stoics figured it out thousands of years ago. Now here's the crazy part. There are just two words, Haas, that can flip the entire dynamic of attraction in your favor. Two words so simple, so powerful, that when internalized with Stoic wisdom, they make you instantly more magnetic. Before we reveal them, let's rewind. Ever been around someone who says almost nothing but somehow commands the whole room? That's not luck. That's not charisma you're born with. That's mastery of self, of energy, and of silence. And the core of that mastery, it's Stoicism. This isn't about manipulating women. This is about becoming the kind of man who attracts women without even trying. And once you understand these two words through the lens of Stoicism, not only will women start noticing you differently, you'll start noticing yourself differently too. Let's dive into the mindset behind the magic. Picture this. A man walks into a room. He's not the best dressed. He's not the loudest. But there's something unshakable about him. Like the world could be on fire, and he'd still sip his coffee calmly. That man, he's not faking anything. He just lives by a certain code, one that makes him immune to chaos, drama, and desperation. He doesn't chase, he doesn't beg, he doesn't compete. That energy, women feel it, instantly. It's not about confidence, it's deeper than that. It's certainty, groundedness, the kind that Stoicism breeds in you. Because Stoicism teaches you not to control people, but to master yourself. And when you do that, when you're not triggered by rejection, not desperate for validation, not emotionally reactive, you instantly stand out. Why? Because most men are chasing, most men are reacting, most men are needing, but not the Stoic. And here's where the two magic words come in. They're not a pickup line. They're not something you say out loud. They're a philosophy, a code, a way of living, and they change everything. Now listen, when I say the first magic word is whatever, I don't mean it in a careless, immature way. I mean the Stoic to whatever. A woman tests you, she gives you attitude. Whatever. Not because you don't care, but because you know your peace matters more than her reaction. A date ghosts you? Whatever. Not because you're numb, but because you don't place your self-worth in someone else's behavior. You lose someone you were crazy about? Whatever. Not because you don't feel the pain, but because you understand. You can't control outcomes, only your response. This word, when lived stoically, makes you untouchable. You're no longer seeking approval. You're no longer playing emotional games. You're no longer trying to impress. You just are. And in a world full of men trying too hard, that quiet indifference is gold. It tells a woman, this man doesn't need me. He chooses me. And that is rare. The second word that changes the game, enough. Not as in settling, but as in, you are already enough. You walk into a room, you're enough. You talk to a woman, you're enough. You get rejected, still enough. See, most men walk around trying to prove they're good enough. They overcompensate, they brag, they perform. And in doing so, they lose the very thing that makes them attractive, authenticity. But when you internalize that you are already enough, that your value isn't dependent on money, looks, or approval, you relax. And that relaxation is powerful because it radiates calm, stability, depth, and women crave that. The man who knows he's enough is not in a hurry. He doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He simply shows up, unapologetically. That's Stoicism in action. You remove the noise, the need, the performance, and you become real. That's when attraction becomes inevitable. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men are chasing women. They're scrolling, swiping, texting, DMing, waiting, hoping. But the Stoic man, he becomes the prize. And when you become the prize, everything shifts. Women start chasing you, not because you're trying to make them, but because your energy is irresistible. You're grounded, present, calm. You don't try to impress, you impress by not trying. Your silence becomes louder than most men's words. Your detachment becomes more attractive than most men's attention. Because what you offer is rare. And in a world where everyone is performing, the man who simply is becomes magnetic. Stoicism gives you the blueprint for that. It shows you how to hold your power, how to stop overgiving, how to attract, not with tactics, but with truth. And at the center of that truth, those two words, whatever, enough. Together, they form an unstoppable frame. So here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to memorize lines. You don't need a crazy routine or some alpha male script. You just need to become the kind of man who embodies these two words. Whatever, enough. When you master whatever, you become emotionally bulletproof. No games, no drama, no chasing. When you live enough, you no longer seek validation. You walk into any situation knowing you belong there. That's what makes women lean in. That's what makes them obsess. Because they sense something different in you, something rare. This isn't just attraction, it's alignment. And Stoicism gives you the tools. Now, before you go, remember this. The real power doesn't lie in the words themselves. It lies in living them. Live like whatever doesn't break you. Live like you are enough as you are. And the world, including the women in it, will feel your energy shift. If this video gave you clarity, confidence, or even just a spark, then don't forget to subscribe. Because this channel isn't just about attraction, it's about becoming a Stoic man. A man who lives with purpose, peace, and power. Tap the bell, join the tribe, and remember, don't chase women. Attract them by being the man you were meant to be. Stay silent, stay strong, stay stoic. Until next time.